Good morning, students. So today we are gonna see some basic features of the Android Studio. So when you open the Android Studio, first you will see this window where you can create the new project or you can open the existing project or some couple of options we have. So let's get into the new project. So I'll click on the new project. So it will ask for the some of the activities where you can select the different kinds of activities based on your needs. For example, so we have a login activity. So when you select the login activity, so it will by default give couple of features like it will uh, give some of the designs which is required for the login like username, password and the login button. All those stuffs already predefined, so you no need to design those stuffs. So like that we'll have a different kinds of activities. So now I'm gonna select empty activity. So it will be a blank activity, so nothing will be there. So we have to do it from the beginning. Okay, so now I'm gonna click next. Okay, so here you can select the application name. I'm gonna type it as a test application and package name, save location where the project should be stored, and the language. So in which language we are gonna code it actually. So I'm selecting Java. By default it will be Java, and a minimum SDK required. So I'll click finish. So it is preparing the workspace, so it will take a few minutes. So we'll wait until that. So this is where you will land into after creating the project, after completing all the project setup. So now we are ready to code actually. So here we'll see different parts of the Android Studio. So we have a project tree where you can see the actual project structure. Okay, and this is where you code it. So we have a couple of options here where you can run, debug, and we have the menu. And in the bottom, we can see the event log, the profiler, database inspector, logcat, all those stuff. We'll in the going forward, we'll explore all these options. So you'll come to know when we start coding and executing the applications. So now we'll see what is this project structure, what will be there inside these folders. So this is very important, students, because before starting the code actually, so you should know the what will be there in each folders, what is why we need those informations, all those stuff. So then only it will be easy to understand how the overall application runs, all those stuff. So in the project structure, you see app folder. So this is the root of the project, and we see manifest folder, Java folder, and this is res is nothing but resource folder and the Gradle scripts. So in manifest, we'll have the XML file. So where it contains the manifest tag as the root element. Under that we will be having the application details. So the manifest will have the package name where our actual code is reside. And in the application tag, so we can specify a couple of attributes. So we'll go one by one. So we can give allow backup. By default it will be true, so we can disable this. So we'll get the more information when you mouse over on the each attribute. Okay, so this is the icon for the application. So you can specify the icon. So what kind of icon you need for your application. By default it will be having the Android symbol when you deploy your application to emulator or an actual mobile device. So you'll see this icon. So we have a different icons for different resolutions with different sizes. So next is the label. So this label is the application name. So this is, so you can see this is our name, test application. Okay, so round icon is this icon will be in the round shape. So if you mouse over on this, you'll see. So supports RTL. So this means it is right to left. So by default it will be enabled. So it will support for right to left layout. So you can see the description here. Declare that your application will be able to deal with the right to left layouts. Okay. So theme. So theme. Actually, this theme will contain the predefined colors and the layouts. So you can see here size, style, button style, text input style, bat style, all those stuff. So this is overall it's a kind of so cosmetic related information. So we'll see in the future, and we'll have the activity tag under application. So where we specify the initial main activity. So this is our main activity. So when we launch our application, this activity will get start or will get triggered. Okay, under intent filter, we see action and the category tag. So what is this action means is, so we are telling this activity acts as an entry point for the application. So when we start or run the application, so this main activity will act as an entry point for the application. And this launcher, so in category we have defined the launcher. So we are telling that these activities should appear in the launcher as a top level application. So basically this Android manifest.xml file will describe essential informations to Android OS, Google Play and Android build tools. We saw about Android manifest file. So next we jump on to Java folder. So where we can see three different packages. So one is this, so where we do actual Java coding or Java implementations, and next two folders related to testing folders, like where you can write the JUnit files for your actual implementation. For all those stuff we use these two package. Okay, next is res folders. So this is nothing but a resource folder. So where we keep all our assets, like we see four different folders: drawable, layout, MIP map and values. So where in drawable, so we can keep our images. Suppose if you want to use a couple of images in your application, so you can keep it in the drawable. And layout folder will have your actual layout. So whatever layout you create, so that will be created under this layout folder. And MIP map. So this is where we have the icon. So we have specified the icon here, icon and round icon. So these things are fetched from these two folders, MIP map. So under that MIP map, you have IC underscore launcher and IC underscore launcher underscore round. So if you open this, you can see the actual default icons. Okay, so see, this is the round icon. Okay, and next we have the values, where you can see the predefined colors. And under strings.xml you can see the actual application name. This is our application name. So this is a kind of so if you see here in the Android manifest, we have specified at uh, sorry, so I'll just show you. So it will, if you see here, at string slash app underscore name, so that will be fetched from this strings.xml. Okay, so this is where we define our actual application name. And under themes, so here in the manifest file we have defined the theme. So at style slash theme dot test application. So these things are fetched from these themes.xml. You can see here we have specified a style tag. So under that we have named as theme.test application. So same name we have used here. If you see here, so for theme attribute we have given at style theme.test application. So that means we are referring to this theme like themes.xml. So this style is extending the parent theme. So it will get the default themes which are coming from Android package. Okay. Okay, so now we see Gradle scripts. When you create a new project, Gradle scripts will be uh, given by the Android itself. So here we can see two build.gradle file. So one is at the project level, or we can say a global level, and another is at the module level. So if you see here this app folder, so what you are seeing is the module. This is one module. So we can have a multiple module, and for individual module we have to create the separate build.gradle file. So this build script or Gradle scripts are written either using Kotlin or Groovy. So what we are seeing now is using written using the Groovy language. So in this project level build.gradle script, so we write only common script which belongs to all other modules. But here in this module level build.gradle scripts, we write only specific to particular module. Okay. So now if you come to a global or project level build script, so we see a build script, and under that we have specified the repositories from where we need to download the dependencies, and here also we have specified Google, Maven Central and JCentral. So by default they have mentioned that this repository is going to shut down soon. So that means we should not use this JCentral. So we can get required dependencies either from Google or Maven Central. And this is the task we are telling clean. Clean is one of the tasks. Okay, so now if we come to a build.gradle module level script, so we have specified the plugins we are telling. So Android plugin we are adding here, and under Android script, so we have specified the compile SDK version, that is 30. So build tool version is 30, and default configuration we have specified like application ID. So the application ID will be when we build. So this is our application ID com.example.test application, and minimum SDK version required for this build is 19, and maximum we can have our target, our recommended SDK version is 30. This is the version code, version name, and we have some build type specified for the release, and compile options we have specified like source compatibility. Here compile option is nothing but to compile the Java we have specified the version. So here we are using the Java 1.8, and now here the actual dependencies specified under this dependencies block. So here these are all the implementation dependencies. So these three are actual implementation dependencies, and this is for our uh, JUnit dependencies. Okay, so this is also related to test dependencies, so we have specified. So that's it. So by default when you create the project, so we see the script is ready. So now you have to concentrate only on the actual implementation, so no need to worry about the script. So minor tweak can be made, so as and when required in the script. Okay, so now we see these two build.gradle files. So now we'll go to gradle.properties and settings.gradle. So this is more like a project properties, and settings.gradle. So if you see here, we have specified the test application while we creating the project. So that is the root project name, and we are telling this build script to include this app module. Suppose if you are going to create one more module here, so name it test. So I can include that test module also here. So in this way, and I will have one more build.gradle for this test module. So hope you hope you are following what I'm explaining. Okay, I'll delete this as of now. Okay, so this is all related to project structures. So once we create the project, we see the structure by default. And now we'll jump into a different section. So this is the main activity Java file, and this is the activity underscore main.xml. This is the layout actually. So this file we can see under layout folder in the resource. If you see here activity underscore main. So this is the, one of the layout, and in layout, so we see couple of sections like palette, component tree, and this is what we call a design area. And here we see attributes for the individual UI components, and we see code, split, and design. So I'll come to this later. So now we'll jump into palette. So if you see here, these are all what we are seeing: common, text, buttons. These are all the UI components. So this is a very simple, guys. So you can drag and drop what you need actually. Suppose I'll go to text component. I need a text view or plain text. I'll just go and drop. So I'll get the text view. That's it. So you no need to write the code to get this text view or plain text. So if you start doing drag and drop whatever you need, suppose I need a password component, I got it. And this is what you see actually when you deploy your application in the emulator or the actual mobile device, and this will act as a blueprint. So this will come to know in future while we start designing the application. Okay, and I told you, so this is an attribute sections where you can see the attributes for this password UI component. So layout width, layout height. So you can define the multiple attributes, and you can edit the existing attribute values also. Okay, so here component tree is, suppose I'll give you one more example. So I'll delete this. So layout, I'm gonna go put a linear layout, and inside that I'll put plain text. And you can see here in the component tree, I have a linear layout and text view allowed, and under linear layout you have the plain text. So those tree structure you can see under this component tree. Okay, so next we'll see, so we have couple of sections actually here. So if you see here, this is the navigation bar. I'll just highlight. This is the navigation bar, and this is the status bar, where you can see the different statuses while running the application. And this is the window toolbar. This is the window toolbar, and this is the menu bar. So as you all know, students, we can change the layout of this design sections. So whatever we design here, so that will be converted to XML in the backend. So we can see when we go to code. So this is the code view where we can see the XML, and if you select the split, so you can see the XML code and also the design level screen. And if you select this design, we see only the design contents. That's all, students. I have given the basic features about the Android Studio. So if you have any doubt, please put your queries in the comment section below, and please like the video, share the video, and click on the bell icon. Thank you.